tell us about the charity Mission Motorsport?
Mission Motorsport is a charity aimed at helping service personnel retrain and look at employment in the motor industry, and more importantly to be able to have a day out at the races and have fun with their family.
Now I'm here with Mark Lloyd. Mark, just tell us, what sort of relationship does Mission Motorsports have with the soldiers?
It's a pretty active relationship, to be honest. It's obviously to help wounded or injured soldiers get jobs after they leave the army, if they can't work in the armed forces anymore. But they take a proactive role in helping them achieve their goals after they leave the army.
Okay, so how did the Mission Motorsports get involved with the GT Cup Championship?
GT Cup chose Mission Motorsport as their charity of choice for the 2013 racing season, of which we're really looking forward to working together.
Just tell us, how has Mission Motorsport sort of helped you turn things around, and how would you say the charity's actually helped you as an individual?
It's been good to have some focus, have something to work with, or someone to work with and work on. Been into my motorsport for quite a while, and they run quite a few track days, and that is a bit exciting to get in the cars and speed around places like Brands.
So you're actually studying motorsport at university, aren't you? So is this perhaps a job role you want to get, rather than just the fun side of things? You want to actually get involved in a career in motorsports? What are you most interested in?
Well, hopefully you want to get into a career in that. Mission Motorsport will help with that, as well as days out like today.
It's BMW on pole position. Lee Mole takes the top slot with Derek Johnston alongside John Dillon and Jacques Diver on the outside. Diver taking GTC pole. GTB is led by Chris Randall. He's on the outside of row 3, and we go back to row 6, the outside of that row, for the GTA pole, which is set by Ben Tompkins in the Ginetta. Well, a gap on the front row of the grid because Derek Johnston's been withdrawn from the race. His car will be saved for another day as Lee Mole leads them across the line to see the green lights, and away they go here at Brands Hatch on the GP circuit, on board with Alex Martin, looking at the inside of Chris Randall. Jacques Diver, who's got the class pole, is out front, and Martin's looking up the inside. He's challenging for the class lead. Diver's got across. The black car is the GTC leader. Lee Mole at the moment leading the race with John Dillon in second position, on board with Mark Smith. Mark running well. The invitation car, the white car in front, Toby Tarrant-Willis, the 458 challenge in the invitation class, but this is the view from Alex Martin. GTC honours very much at stake. It's been one win each for Jacques Diver, paired up with Charlie Hollings in the two-driver race, and then of course Alex Martin taking the win last time. Mick Dwayne there in the mix, the 87 car. Sean Balfe, of course, was up the front with him in the two-driver race. And there goes Martin through on the inside to take the class lead. As they come down to Hawthorns, Martin takes the lead. Brilliant manoeuvre there. These two really enjoying their scrapping as Mike Seller tries to get the better of fellow Porsche driver Mark Smith. Now Peter Young, a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of the 27 car. So the G50 on his own on track, but ahead of Rupert Martin, who comes through, the red and yellow Ferrari. Then it's Ben Tompkins being put under pressure by Jeff Wyatt. Rupert Martin holding sway at the moment, and Wyatt's going to try and look at the outside line here as they go through the left-hander at Stirling's, and then the run down the hill into Clearways, and then the run round Clark Curve and back onto the main straight. So at the moment Jeff Wyatt can't do anything about the Ginetta in front. Again, this is a battle for the two GTA cars. Ben Tompkins and Jeff Wyatt. Rupert Martin running in GTC, and there was a problem. That was Peter Young we saw disappearing back to the paddock. Disappointment for Peter. So Mark Smith still ahead of Mike Seller. Mick Dwayne ahead of them, running in 8th position at the moment. And the battle for GTC continues apace with this invitation class car in the mix as well. And these guys really enjoying their racing, and it's Alex Martin holding sway, but Jacques Diver looks to the outside at paddock, thinks about going for the cutback. It's not there, he's too far back, probably defending a wee bit from the invitation class car as well, but now goes to the outside line at Druids. This is brave stuff. It's wet, it's slippery, sometimes a little bit more grip round the outside. That's a great move in the drive, but a fantastic move by Jacques Diver to take the class lead. Diver goes through, GTC leader, and Jack now up into 4th position in the race. Toby Tarrant-Willis goes through into 5th, side by side with Alex Martin. Inside line as they go through Surtees and onto the Grand Prix loop once again. Well, some superb action being put on by Butte Motorsport, the GT Cup Championship, and Lee Mole certainly won't disagree with that. He's out front in the BMW Z4, well clear. Where's the second place car? There he is. John Dillon in the red Ferrari is still there in 2nd position. So Lee Mole, who will have points in 2 classes, raced in GTA at Donington, taking the win, and he'll pick up the GTO points here this weekend, and you can do that, and subject to championship coordinator's permission, you can carry the points in both classes. And a quick look there at Mick Dwayne in 87, who's being challenged by Mark Smith. Mark a couple of lengths down as the Ferrari and Porsche respectively make their way onto the Grand Prix loop, coming down Pilgrim's Drop and up Hawthorns Hill where our camera is, and then down the Derek Minter Straight. And you can see in front of them Dan Stringfellow just went out of shot, the BMW. So Dan Stringfellow running well. Ben Tompkins and Rupert Martin still dicing, so Ben Tompkins running well in GTA, and back with Mick Dwayne in 87. Saw such a good effort from him in the first race with Sean Bouth sharing driving duties as the pro driver. So round Clark Curve, 87 car at the moment, running in 8th position. Mark Smith in 9th, and Mick Dwayne on for a podium in GTC at the moment, which is going to be good. A little bit of silverware to go home to the camp, but up front with the GTO silverware virtually in the bank is Lee Mole. So Alex Martin now coming under pressure from Dan Stringfellow. Jacques Diver away down the road. Jacques will be pleased to have done this race on his own without the help of Charlie Hollings. It's a straight battle really, this one in the wet between Alex Martin and Jacques Diver, who's ahead in 5th place. This is the scrap for 6th position, and Dan Stringfellow running 2nd in GTB goes across the line, but Lee Mole is the man who has done the business again. It was a win for Derek Johnston in race 2. He withdrew from this one. It would have been interesting to see how it would have fared, but it's going to be Lee Mole to take a second win of the weekend, winning race 1. That was wet, and a win here as well in the second sprint race of the weekend. Lee Mole wins it. John Dillon will come home in 2nd position. So our final race of the weekend, it was a win for Lee Mole. He grabbed the fastest lap as well. GTB going the way of Chris Randall in 3rd place. He got the fastest lap in Class 2. And Jacques Diver gets another one over on Alex Martin. It was 2-1 in the end. The Diver and Hollings partnership coming out on top. Jack getting fastest lap 2. GTA, that was won by Richard Chamberlain. He finished 11th, but the fastest lap in GTA going to Ben Tompkins.
Everything looked under control, was it?
Yes, pretty much so, and yeah, it was very tentative, as you saw in the beginning of the race. As I said, these conditions are pretty new to me, and but yes, kept it steady, and it all worked out well.
You pretty much looked like you're in cruise control for pretty much most of that race.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were, I managed to get a good lead, and then the conditions got worse really for us. So, yeah, it was quite a challenging track towards the end, but I had a good lead, 5 seconds I think it was. So the guys just said, look after your tyres and kind of bring it across the line, which is fortunately what I did, yeah.
Richard, a great day for you. Your throttle didn't break this time, but you said the conditions weren't quite wet enough for you.
No, that's absolutely right. The car's brilliant in the wet, and we can make up some big lots of spaces and lots of time in the wet. So we were praying for a deluge and we didn't get it, but nevertheless, great result. Had a fantastic weekend, so really pleased.
Well, my start went pretty well. I got tucked up behind some of the higher class Ferraris and managed to get past them fairly early on and then get some clean air. But like everybody, I mean, I came up behind Alex Martin. He was quite quick to start with, and then his tyre started falling away. I got past him, and then my tyre started falling away, and luckily I got a bit of a gap, so there was another white Ferrari who closed in on me, but he didn't quite have enough to get past at the end. But tricky conditions, and thankfully the tyres held together through it.
2 second places and a class win means that Alex Martin stays at the top of the table, and indeed, of course, the lead of GTC. Ian Payne and Ben Tompkins joint second in the championship. They lead GTA. GTB led by Dan Stringfellow. He's down in 10th. And a fierce championship returns to Brands Hatch for the Indy circuit in 3 weeks' time.
Another round comes to a close here at Brands Hatch, but we really can't get enough of this classical race circuit. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time for round 5 and 6 at Brands Hatch Indy. Look forward to it, and we'll see you then.